Hello, America. Well, it's been a week. You've had time to accept the fact that you have a new president, which wasn't actually voted by the majority of the people. But hey, it's okay that you don't have an actual democracy, and you never had one. But it's nice that you're picking up on things. You know, until you're deported to the gulags in, Alaska? Yeah, that sort of sounds like America's Siberia, so why not? But before that happens, let's have a talk about something that's really pressing to you at this time. Dictatorship. And these are the top 7 games about dictatorships. Games through which you may be able to discern the exact nature of a dictatorship, of what it implies. Games that may help you better understand what you're facing and what you're not facing, and how to deal with supposed dictatorships. That is, if you decide that you're living in one now and not just a crappy electoral process-based democracy. That being said, let's get this started with number 7, Power and Revolution. Now, this game is part of a long-running series called the Geopolitical Simulator. These games let you take the role of just about any world ruler from the past couple of years. And you'll get to see firsthand what trials and tribulations each of these leaders has to face when dealing with a world filled with problems, with unrest, with revolutions, with wars, and with internal politics as well. You can take the role of anyone you wish. You can even be someone like Kim Jong-un and rule with an iron fist your very poor, backwards country that at least has an excuse for having what leader it does. And they don't complain about it, mostly because complaining is not allowed. Now, will you be a tyrant in this game? Will you continue down the path of tyranny, of despotism, of dictatorship, or will you try and be a more benevolent ruler, more open to ideas of liberty, fraternity, equality, of, oh, they just assassinated you, didn't they? Well, that's how things go. Number 6, Dungeon Keeper. Now, you may be saying to yourself, how is being a tyrannical, undead, immortal spirit being that can possess other creatures and wield unimaginable magic powers is like being a dictator? Well, you just said it. It's every bit like being a dictator. You can just replace spells with nukes and surveillance and direct control with money. Lots and lots of money. In this game, you get the chance to see what a dictator dreams himself or herself to be one day. A mad, all-powerful, immortal entity that dwells beneath and terrorizes the world above, increasing in power and wealth, and with armies with a scope that never ends. So it's like a power fantasy for dictators, or for people that just want to dick around in the underground being a dictator themselves. Which is kind of the opposite of number 5, Sorcerer King. Now, this game may be a bit prophetic because it starts out after the great evil, the one everybody said was gonna be a demonic despot that's gonna crush everyone. Yeah, he's now ruler of the world, and you're a little itsy-bitsy, tiny, insignificant resistance force, and you have to set up some new towns, maybe a few armies, in the hopes of preventing the Sorcerer King, the tyrant that rules everything, the dictator, from casting a spell that will make him God and blow up the earth. And all the while, the dictator, the Sorcerer King, isn't actually hostile towards you. He'll talk to you. If you need help, he'll help you. He'll give you a few trinkets, some armies, some gold, some food, things, that you may need in your struggle for survival in what's left of a corrupted and decaying world. And if you accept those boons he grants you, you'll get more power, and the end of the world will be closer at hand. There is also an expansion for this game where you play as another Sorcerer King that has to battle the Sorcerer King, so you can be a dictator as well. Number 4, Tyranny. Well, this one just came out, and it has a very good concept. Again, the evil tyrannical overlord has conquered all, and you are one of the head minions of said tyrant. You are judge, jury, and executioner. You are the word of the tyrant. You are his will. Your word is his law. What will you do with this power? Are you going to go around just smiting everyone that even looks at you funny like you're that Negan guy from The Walking Dead? Or will you try and be benevolent? Will you foster dissent? Will you help the needy in one day, hope against hope, dare against fate, dream against nightmare, I'm guessing that's how that phrasing goes, to maybe overthrow what's kinda basically a god. Number 3, Papers, Please. Now, they say our Storska's a very glorious democratic republic, but is it? Is it really? It isn't. And you get to feel it. Like a lot of games try to explain what a dictatorship is, but in Papers, Please, you actually feel it. The crime, the grit, the depression, the gloom, The endless agony of a repeated existence in meagerness and nothingness, in absolute squalor. The nihilists will probably love this game, also people that really enjoy paperwork, and probably the Germans. And everyone in Eastern Europe will remember fondly the good old days. Back when, well, we didn't have food, heating, or freedom of speech, but you know what? There were no hipsters back then either, so yeah, maybe it wasn't that bad. Number 2, Rollercoaster Tycoon. Don't act like you didn't see this coming. This is a game series where you basically play Hitler. Yeah, in this game series, you are literally Hitler. Yeah, sure, your objective is to build an amusement park, fill it with people, make it profitable, help everyone enjoy themselves. You know what else started out that way? The Nazis. And how did it end up? With genocide, and yes, how most sessions of Rollercoaster Tycoon also end. Yeah, with genocide. Pointless, horrible, meticulously planned and executed genocide. It required a lot of work and the willing help of the staff at the park because, let's face it, Hitler could not have done everything by himself if there weren't already a bunch of people thinking the exact same thing. Number 1, Tropico. What else could have been the number 1 game about dictators than Tropico? Since its inception, this game was a marvel to behold. It was such a good dictatorship game that I actually believe, I remember on Euronews they said it was banned somewhere. I believe Cuba, or maybe North Korea. It was banned somewhere anyway because it dealt very well with the idea of dictatorship. You were the leader, the supreme leader of a banana republic, an island, a tropical paradise with salsa, samba, lambada, and whatever, agriculture industry you decided would better fit your nation. A nation which you could kind of sell a bit-ish into the, well, not outright slavery, but make them kind of pawns in an international game between corporations and superpowers. Or you could just play with them yourself, use them as your tiny little insects, push them around, deny them freedoms, bribe them, arrest them, assassinate them, constantly promise that maybe next year there will be elections, but hey, everybody loves you. You are El Presidente, and who does not love El Presidente? No, really, who does not love? Tell me his name, and I will have him arrested, and on the way to the jail, he will conveniently be assassinated by a soldier who will then disappear because no one knows if there was a soldier there in the first place, because why would there be? This is a democracy of the people. Personally, I recommend either the first one, the first Tropico, because it was, well, kinda near perfect. The second one I never played, was something about pirates, and the third and fourth one were basically remakes of the first one, while the fifth one, yeah, that actually added new gameplay, and it's one that I also recommend because it also has multiplayer, so you'll be able to be a dictator with other El Presidentes on the map. Well, that would be it for the top 7 games about dictatorships. If you're still feeling sad and depressed because of everything that's happening, well, tune in next week. I'm gonna have something that will cheer you up. I guarantee it.
Thank you for watching this show. If you enjoyed it, please consider watching some of our other videos and maybe sharing them or giving a thumbs up if you feel like it. And if you really liked what you saw, please check out our Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you could help us make much better shows and get some rewards in the process. Or you could consider buying my book called Tale of Doom. Volume 1 is out now and available for just $2. And as always, if you thought it was horrible, you know where to find me and complain about it.